Welcome to the Jan Podcast, Season 1, Episode 36. Yes, they said it couldn't be done. No, they didn't. My name is Jan, and I'm your host, but if you've listened, you already know that. How else would you fucking be here, right? Eh, anyways, I'm going to start off with my traffic peeve. Because this one was kind of creepy, and people do this all the time because they're shady motherfuckers. I was driving to work and I was behind this, I think it was like a Toyota Corolla, and the bumper was literally hanging on for dear life. Okay, in the back, it was just fucking hanging on for dear life. So we're going along and they're in the fast lane and traffic's going relatively smoothly, and then all of a sudden they just fucking hit their brakes for no reason, and I'm like, whoa! And I was following back enough where I wasn't close enough to hit them, but they did. It looked like they were trying to make me hit them. There was nothing in front of them. There was no reason to hit your brakes. I think they thought I was going to accelerate, and I didn't. Because I thought their bumper was going to fall off. So I wanted to keep my distance. So when it falls off, I'm not going to get hit. So I was keeping my distance. For that reason alone, I was keeping my distance. But they tried 3 different fucking times to make me rear end them. 3 different times. It was obvious they were trying to make me rear end them. Then finally, I just stayed so fucking far back off of them, they just got in another lane and took the exit and left. But boy, I was pissed. I was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. You're not getting a new fucking rear end on my dime. But yeah, that's how fucking shady people are. You know what I mean? You never know people's intentions. Well, I mean, their intent was pretty obvious to me. I was like, yeah, you intend for me to buy you a new bumper. Not gonna happen. But yeah, so that was interesting. And then, the odds of that falling off when you're driving, I don't know. I mean, it looked like it was hanging on either end and nothing in the middle. You could see like probably a couple of inches of gap. So it was like ready to fall off. But you know, just common sense tells you to back off just because the bumper could fall off. And if they're driving around like that, they may not know it. They may know it. You don't know what they know. Yeah, I don't want to know what they know. That's what I want to know, not what they know. But I was driving by. I was driving. Well, I call grade school little school. I was driving by a little school, and I saw these little kids playing tetherball. And man, I was like, oh my gosh, it took me back because I haven't played tetherball since grade school. I mean, it was so much fun though. Tetherball was a blast. I remember my sister was pretty good at it. I always loved just punching the shit out of that ball and having it just go over the person's head, and you can just keep hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. I was like, yeah, this is my sport. I'm enjoying this sport. I really like tetherball a lot. I think my dad made us a tetherball. I'm almost positive we had our own tetherball pole. I can almost see a used tire with cement in it and a pole in the middle. I can almost envision it in front of me right now. I'm sure my sister would confirm that. And of course, the one who knows everything that went on, Mom. Yeah. Anyways, it just got me thinking back to, being younger and having those little games and how they were real physical. We were out there busting up, moving, climbing. I mean, the monkey bars. Oh my God. How much time did I spend on the monkey bars? Forever on the monkey bars, swinging, gliding, falling. They were so dangerous, but they were awesome. There was nothing like the monkey bars. You just hang on and swing around. There was one other one. What was it? It was tree swings. Oh my gosh. We had swings in our trees for as long as I can remember. We always had some kind of a swing in a tree. And those were always hit or miss dangerous because you just never know. I think we had a tire at one point that we had on a rope at the second house. And that one, I think that one made it all the way into the grandkids. It's funny. That one got a lot of use, but even then, it was like, is it safe still? Well, the rope's a little frayed, and if you blow it, falls apart. So probably not. But let's do it. What was my third? I had a third. Kickball. Kickball, man. Kickball is what introduced me to soccer. So yeah, kickball was awesome. I loved kickball. It was pretty fun. Dodgeball. Yeah, throwing a ball at someone's head, fucking amazing. Pong, and that fucking sound when you get that good hit. It was great. I used to love that game, man. I would dive out of the way to avoid getting hit. That was serious competitive nature for me right there. Yeah, still have it. Still have that competitive nature, which is why my knees don't work. My shoulders are fucked up, and yeah, when you beat the shit out of your body, you pay for it later. Was it worth it? No, not really. No, really wasn't actually. Now that I think about it, my body, the way my body feels now, I'm kind of like, why did I do that? But I mean, you get other things via soccer other than just playing soccer and getting injured. You make friends and you get to do things with them. And we always had soccer parties and stuff like that. So those were always a lot of fun. The soccer parties when everybody got there together and their parents got there and everybody just kind of ran wild, you know. We mostly had them at our house, but we did have in high school, I think we had at least one soccer party was at one of my classmates' houses because, gosh, when we were there, I was seeing this guy that was a senior, and while we were there, they went out and stole two street signs that said my name on them and left them on the doorstep. I've never been so embarrassed. I was like, oh God, oh my God. I was like, shit, man, shit. Yeah, I got teased so bad. It was horrible. I mean, you know, yeah, long story. Funny, but yeah, that was a fun party too. Shit. Speaking of partying, actually, I'm going to get back to that because I did want to talk about music in general, how important music is in like in my family. When we grew up, there was a piano in the house. Like as long as I can remember, I don't remember there never being a piano in our house. There's always some kind of a piano in our house. For the longest time, we had a baby grand, and that thing was amazing to play on. I learned how to play the piano. Probably couldn't play it right now. Give me a couple of months, I'll be right back where I was. But I haven't played it in 40 years. So when I took my piano class at JC, they made me go into advanced. So I was like, dang it. Yeah, because I could read music. So yeah, I screwed myself. I could read, you know, treble and bass. They're like, oh, I'm like, oh crap. I thought easy A. No, no. But yeah, it started with the piano, and we took piano lessons, and I liked taking piano lessons. I hated doing recitals. I fucking hated them. I mean, with the bitterest of passion. And the same with band, having our concerts. I fucking hated it. I didn't mind like even marching and stuff like that. I didn't mind. I didn't like the concert setting. It just sucked. I hated it. But anyways, but I digress. So my favorite thing at the time was the drums. Okay, I had a drum set that someone had given my mom that was just like pieces of drums sets, and I put it together. It was like two different drum sets. I put it together and made it work, and boy, I banged the shit out of those things. So did my friend. I think everybody got on that thing and banged the hell out of my drums. It was fun to play the drums, but even at that time, I was also playing the violin. So yeah, I had one person that was ahead of me that there was no way I was gonna get in front of her. She was her, but I wouldn't have put the effort in to do that anyways. I had too many other things going. I was bowling and God, I think by then once they introduced soccer, piano stopped and stopped. Drums didn't stop because I had a set in my room, but I didn't take drums in band. I tried to take trumpet, but I didn't have the patience for it. I had a flugelhorn. But once I realized I could read music, it didn't matter. It was more like worrying about my armature and crap like that. But the flugelhorn was fun. Then I made the mistake of going into junior high and looking up on this shelf and going, "What's that?" to the band leader, and he goes, "That's a tuba." Is it? Yeah. Would you like to try? I should have gone, no. I went, oh, sure. Crap. He had like 16 drummers, so I could either play the cymbal or I could fucking go. I could go play a tuba. So I played the tuba. Fuck it. I was strong enough to hold it. Didn't bother me. I could blast on it. It was fun. I was the only one. It was kind of fun. It was fun being a girl tuba player too. That was kind of fun. But it sucked during marching band 'cause that motherfucker got hot and heavy. Yeah, it was no fun during marching band. I ended up like I think one year I ended up having to play like a bass sax. Didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll just blow on it, and I pulled it off. But geez, man, I can play the bass guitar. I can play the guitar. I mean, I'm not great. Like I can't sit there and rip on a guitar. I can just strum chords. I taught myself, so I don't really know that much, but I know enough to entertain myself. And if I have friends, we can strum a few chords, and if they can sing, we can have a lot of fun. So that's always fun. But yeah, I did want to talk about that. Music and instruments in particular are pretty important in my life, and I can play a bunch. Not real well, but I can play a bunch. I never did learn a lot of woodwinds. It was always brass, percussion, stuff like that, strings. My sister played the cello, like she said when she fell on the cello. Good times, good times. Ah, jeez. I know, right? Me and my sister have to pick these huge fucking instruments. My poor mom. It's a good thing we had a monster fucking trunk. The 55 Chevy had a huge trunk. I could fit my freaking tuba case inside there. It was crazy. That's how big that thing was. The good old days when they made a car to last, right? What I was putting off speaking about earlier, I wanted to wait just a little bit because it's probably going to be like 10 minutes of gabbing about this because, hi, Chupa. Because the last thing I wanted to close out on was underage drinking in the 80s, right? There was a lot of it. At least for us, there was. We went out to orchards and drank, and people had barns, and you'd have parties inside the barns. And of course, people's parents left, and we'd have parties at their house. It wasn't anything like where they get crashed by the police, nothing like that. But, it was still out having fun. If you weren't, I mean, you had your choice of very few things back then. It was like beer was probably number one, and then you could get it in bottle, can, or like a pony keg, which was like a half version. I think it was like a half version of a full keg, because getting a full keg was tough. Not that it didn't happen, but it was tough. I mean, you knew you were having a big party if you had a big ass keg, but the pony kegs were pretty popular. Um, we drank a lot of wine coolers at the time. It was like I think it was California coolers, Seagram's coolers, Bartles and James. Those were the main ones. And then you'd shoot schnapps, peach schnapps, Jägermeister, hot damn. Shit was fucking hot as fuck. Some people would have Kahlua drinks, Kahlua and cream and stuff. My mom would have a Kahlua and cream every now and then when I was really young, but it was really rare. That's how I even knew what Kahlua was. It would just sit there. And I'm like, what is that? Why does it never get used? But yeah, so I mean, we would do a lot of drinking, and when you drink, you do things, and when it's boring, anyways, you play a lot of card games, right? So our back then, we didn't have like a whole lot to choose from. I can't remember if we had Uno back then. I'm pretty sure we did, but mostly when we'd play on like at someone's house or something like that, you'd play like poker or 21 or clubs, aces. There's all kinds of card games. I mean, freaking solitaire you can play by yourself, right? Um, on top of that was dice games, um, craps. We played craps, but mostly what we played were like liar's dice and bar dice. Yeah, so those were mostly the dice games that we played, and we played a lot of them. We'd be up all night playing them. It was fun. I mean, you could gamble or not gamble. It's up to you, how much money you got to lose. But I mean, we didn't have a whole lot of choices back then. I mean, I guess I'm saying that because I went and bought a game. It's called Cards versus Gravity, and it looks like you balance cards on top of each other, and you just stack them sideways like on each other to balance out. So I don't know. I'm not sure how it works, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There's wild cards. So I'm going to give it a try here pretty soon. Probably for Christmas, I'm going to give it a try. See if it's any fun or not. If it's fun, I'll let you know for sure. But yeah, back then, we would just sit back with a beer and just play some cards or whatever. It really wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't like 16 candle parties. It was never like that. Those were the parties we wished that we were going to, but we had fields and orchards and yeah, you do what you do, right? But yeah. But that's it. That's it for this week. I'll have more next week. It's been fun and it's been real. But it hasn't been real fun. No, it's been fun. I enjoy doing this, but I just don't put any effort into it, putting it out yet. So eventually I will, and more people will hear it. And welcome when you do come. Welcome. I'm down for it. I got more shit to talk about, and I am attempting to put together another podcast. So we'll see what happens. You never know. Depends on how much time I have and the other person, how much interest they have. I have someone that I'd like to feature on this show a lot next year, and we'll see if he's game for that or not. He's got a lot of shit going on right now, so I don't know what kind of time he's going to have. But we get along really well, and I think you'll find that we're pretty funny together. Our topics will be really weird, so that should be cool. I mean, this show, it's not really. it's the Sure Jan podcast, but it's about everything. You know what I mean? I'm telling you about who I was when I was young, and I'm sure a lot of the things we are talking about and I'm talking about reflect with you and resonate. You probably are like, yeah, I've been there, done that. I mean, if you're Gen X, then everything I'm talking about is second nature to you, right? We're a tough breed. Yes, we are. But I did want to say, don't forget to adopt, don't shop, spay and neuter, which poor little Chupa is going to be experiencing that very soon. And just do your best to be a good person and not an asshole. You know what I mean? Do your best. Protect the people that need it. Fuck off with the people that don't, right? Fuck you. Stay away. Keep your mental clarity. Keep your critical thinking skills. Keep it real. Until next time. Peace out.